Remember how I told you about the deck that travels in the case? Well, you can take it out of the case, and it's a very good way of demonstrating just how the Gyoury light mounting system works. It's a ball mount, and as you can see, you can position the light anywhere and lock it off in any position, and it stays there. And this is the universal way that Gyoury lights are mounted throughout the system, and I'll show you more applications later. Now, this Gyoury light happens to be fitted with an egg crate, which goes on with Velcro. Of course, the barn doors are closed, so if we open them up, you see how it goes onto the light, and thereby narrowing down the spill of the light. Now, when you've got your lights mounted on the deck, you can see how the deck becomes a stand in itself. It can be a floor stand. You can prop it against the wall. You could prop it on a windowsill. You could hang it with these holes. You could even invert it and put it on in a drop ceiling. So this is a kind of free stand that if you're caught on location somewhere with no means of holding a light or lights, this is a handy thing to have. You can also detach this base plate from the ball joint if necessary, and you can screw it with wood screws onto lumber or part of the set or whatever. So you've got automatically a very simple stand already at your disposal just in the kit. But let's say now you want to attach a Gyoury light to a C-stand. Now, the C-stand, as you know, is the ubiquitous stand of the industry, and for that you need this, which comes with the light. It fits into the ball mount in the usual way, like that, and then you mount that straight into the knuckle of a C-stand. Now the light can now be angled wherever you want it. And the really nice thing is that being only 6 pounds, or under 6 pounds in weight, the C-stand arm can be moved well out from the base of the light and it'll still stand there. There isn't even a sandbag on this. So there aren't many lights that you can do that with. Now, let's say you don't have a C-stand handy and you prefer to travel perhaps with one of these lightweight stands, a sort of Century stand or the Bogan stand. They're very light in weight, and a Gyoury light will fit perfectly on there with this accessory. This is called the pinball adapter. It just simply fits onto the top. You screw it up in the normal way. There's the Gyoury light ball mount. And then this fits very easily on there. And this stand is perfectly capable of holding this light because the Gyoury light weighs under 6 pounds. Now, we've attached one light to a stand, another light to a stand. What if you want to mount 2 Gyoury lights, or 3 Gyoury lights, or 4 Gyoury lights? Well, we have an accessory for that, and it's called the monster mount. You can see why I call it a monster mount. It's a tall vertical column that fits onto a C-stand or any studio stand. It has 4 ball mounts and 4 Gyoury lights that can be adjusted into any position. But when I say adjusted, I don't only mean their physical position, I mean they can be dimmed independently. Now, a light like this, where you can point the lights in different directions, means that you can be lighting the ceiling, you could be lighting the floor, you could be lighting that side of the room, you could be lighting this side of the room. A hugely adjustable light source under all kinds of conditions. And remember, because the lights can be angled, you could put this behind a huge diffusion screen, 10 foot by 10 foot even, and you would get a very, very large, beautiful cosmetic adjustable source. Now, there are some other features of the monster mount that I haven't shown you. Here's another one of them. First of all, you'll notice that it has an angled top. We had it mounted in the stand like that. But if you were to mount it this way round in the stand, it means that it would be leaning forward, and then each of the 4 lights could then be angled vertically So it really is a true top light which comes into its own when you're doing tabletop work, where you need a large source from above. Now the monster mount comes in two halves. You simply undo this screw, and apart from making it possible to very easily put it into the case for transporting, it means that you can mount two lights on a stand and two lights on a stand, so you now have two light sources. But also you can use the pistol grip, this accessory here. This fits up into here, tighten up the screw, and now you can mount one or two lights in your hand. You can walk around with two very powerful sources with your battery belt and your inverter, and you're completely independent again with a huge controllable source. Now, having mentioned a pistol grip, there's a little wrinkle here. You don't have to have a monster mount necessarily if you want to use the pistol grip, because you can mount the pinball adapter on the end of the pistol grip and mount a single Gyoury light on top of there. So, mobile lights yet again.